What's up, everyone? Andre here, along with Jake, Joey, and Tris, to give our pre-hype expectations and predictions and whatever else we can for the next hour, or really 55 minutes at this point, until we finally get the first 10 minutes of what I'm guessing is going to be nearly consecutive gameplay that we've had of Tears of the Kingdom. I cannot wait. My hype, I wasn't that hyped yesterday. I mean, I was hyped, but not that hype. I'm game pre-hyped now. We're finally going to see what this game, I'm hoping, is about. How are you all feeling right now? Joey, what's your mental status at the moment?
I'm about an 8. I'm like really excited to see what this game's finally looking like in game. And I'm really excited to see that HUD for some reason. If that HUD's different, I'm gonna be super hyped.
I was thinking that too, actually. I was actually thinking about like seeing the HUD and like how the UI looks during gameplay. I want to see if it actually looks different than Breath of the Wild or not.
Watch, there's not gonna be any hearts. I'm just kidding.
That'd be something. All right, how about you, Tris?
I am pretty excited. I was very excited from the moment they announced this. Just the fact that we're finally here. We're finally at the point where they're starting to kick off the marketing properly. In the less than 2 months we have to the game, and this is how we're starting. We're actually going to get a look at gameplay, not a bunch of trailer shots that we have to decipher. Is this one from gameplay? Is this one from a cutscene? Is this some weird in between? And if I had to rank it, I'm at a 9 out of 10 here. I am really looking forward to what we see here.
And how about you, Jake? How are you feeling now?
Yeah, we talked so much about this yesterday. So, so people know I'm extremely excited. I think this is going to be a great big showing for sure. My confidence is extremely high. I think the thing that I'm most really curious about now that I've thought about it a little bit more, is that because this is the first really big showcase of what this game is all about, not just teasing things for the sake of like reminding people it exists. I'm curious how Nintendo decides to position this game, what they see as a selling point, what they see as something that is really exciting, and who they are speaking to in the now extremely vast Switch audience.
Yep.
Because I feel like this is a game where there's going to be so many directions that they could go in, so many things that they could show off, that whatever this first step is, I think is just, I'm just curious. I would just like to know, like, who's making the big calls over there? Who said, this is it, this is what we're pushing,
It's almost like exiting the cave of Resurrection, for the Shrine of Resurrection for the first time. You can go anywhere you want, Where's Nintendo going to lead us with this thing? Hey, chat, how are y'all doing this morning, by the way? Seeing a lot of kind comments there, including, one from, I lost it. I had it, but it was saying something along the lines of, you guys are so hype. Oh, there we go. Oh, I had it, then it's gone again. You guys are so hype, and they just enjoy spending their time here with us. But good seeing all of you here. Chat, how are you all feeling about Tears of the Kingdom? What are you hoping to see? We want to hear what you're expecting here. And that's the thing, Jake. We have no idea. Like, it could just be a focus on a particular aspect of the game. It could be a wider look at it where they go through a series of things. Again, I don't think it's gonna be like a rapid fire Nintendo Direct style type of thing like we saw with Splatoon 3, just because they very clearly have not branded it that way. But I am very curious to see where they lead us here.
I actually had somebody point out to me, Andre, I feel like maybe this is forgotten because of the game it is, but there's a very similar, I think, to what we're going to see gameplay demo for Triforce Heroes that Aonuma did, where he sat down and looked almost like at the exact same like white background, little desk, little, you know what I mean? And like went through the game and was talking the whole time about what it was about. And I think that might be a good guide. That was 15 minutes. This is 10. But I think like if they said 10 minutes of gameplay, we might get like a 15-minute video. You know what I mean? So that might be like a pretty good guide for what we're about to see today.
Yeah, it is interesting that they specifically cited gameplay and not how long the video actually may be, as far as we're aware. So that is kind of reassuring in the sense that, okay, we're guaranteed 10 minutes of Tears of the Kingdom, which I tweeted yesterday, I'm pretty sure is at least double what we've seen in this game in total over the last 4 years, which is saying something. So, and the fact that this again will be like, clips longer than 8 seconds is really going to help fill in some of those gaps. Like, how actually does this game handle? And, that we are only now 51 minutes away from finding out, which, by the way, we don't even know how fully this video is being presented, but it looks like they're just going to drop it on the YouTube channel, I'm guessing, as a full thing.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I saw a bunch of people in chat asking about it. There's no, like, live stream page for this. There's no premiere that's already up and scheduled. So, unlike directs and every other thing that they usually have where you can prepare it up in advance, it seems like this is just at the top of the hour. it's just gonna appear on YouTube, the full video.
Like magic.
It's not gonna be right. It's not gonna be anything that we can prep up in advance and pull up on stream and sit there looking at the thumbnail for example. Unfortunately.
You make that sound so exciting. As if we're gonna sit there and look at the thumbnail for minutes on end.
We've done crazier things than that. The other thing, really quick, I wanted to point out from chat that I saw earlier from Champion Taylor saying, "Sorry I'm late on this, but congrats on your engagement, Jake."
Oh, thank you, chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, pretty hyped. Still, got coffee this morning. Immediately, my fiance says to the barista, pulls out the ring. We're engaged. You know, to this person that we see like every couple times a week. Yeah, it's fantastic.
So Jake, on a scale of 0 to engaged, how excited are you for this 10 minutes of Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh man, from 0 to engaged, don't tell her. All right, but we're it's up there. All right, now.
Man, so how are we gonna? How is this thing opening? Like, what is the first thing we're gonna see here? What?
Hello, everyone. We're gonna hear those words in Japanese.
Okay, after the preamble, Joey, what are they gonna show us?
The very beginning of the game, I think.
You think so?
We talked about that, so. Joey. Yeah.
I actually don't think
it's
so.
gonna. You don't. It could. I'm just throwing like a guess. Like, I feel like the beginning of the game is when he opens the door. And that one trailer where they showed off the title, but it also could be the very middle too. But I'm gonna bet anything, and it might be they might show some of the beginning, but then he'll say, "All right, and we're gonna jump a little later and see like how he looks with more hearts, with more armor, stuff like that."
Well, Joey, is part of your thinking that they kind of have to show us how we get from Breath of the Wild Link to this Link that we've been seeing in Tears of the Kingdom, like with the arm and with all this other stuff going on? Like we almost have to. Do we need that information to like appreciate what we're seeing, or do you think we can just kind of cut to this is the new stuff?
We could probably cut. That's a good question. We could probably cut
I'm not
to
sure.
This is the new stuff. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, a part of me might think like it might, like, if they're gonna tell us what this game is about, like more so like the story. I don't think they're gonna tell us too much about the story, but they're gonna tell us like, all right, and Link finds himself here. And here's like a little bit of the beginning, and then it's just like, now y'all want to see the new stuff. Maybe here's a dungeon. That'd be crazy. That'd be a hype moment.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a super chat, by the way, before I forget, from Tyler Dell. Thank you so much. So excited, 9 out of 10. Nice.
Heck yeah, Tyler Dell. That's a thing. Like, it's crazy that Nintendo announced this game unusually early for Nintendo. I mean, almost on the same. Actually, I think longer in advance now than even Breath of the Wild. Officially at least, which is wild. And we still know practically nothing about it. I mean, obviously there's a lot of theories. You know, we've had tons of our own videos analyzing as much as we can. But at the end of the day, no one knows anything still. I mean, I feel like I've not looked too deep into it, but to my understanding, even the art book leak didn't necessarily tell us a whole lot about it. And if it had, I somehow missed everything. So because I've been purposely, I didn't go out of my way to spoil myself. So
wow, Andre, I forgot about that leak. I didn't look at it. I didn't look at it either. I've somehow escaped that as well.
So I don't know if it mattered or not. I haven't seen. Yeah. If it did, I didn't see a lot of too many updates about it. But
Well, let me tell you what was in it. It was a picture of Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic Frontiers. Crossover confirmed.
I cannot believe you would spoil such a thing.
I think one of the biggest things that we'll see here.
I had to.
I think one of the biggest things that we'll actually see here during the gameplay will be specifically the Link jumping off of one of the Sky Islands, Aonuma showing off the different things Link can do in the air, changing his directions, using arrows, and then the transition that goes to the actual land of Hyrule. I think we'll actually get to see that, and arguably, I think that might be one of the biggest things that we see here. Because I don't feel like they're going to show us a dungeon. I don't think they're going to show us the beginning of the game or anything that could potentially tell us something about the story. I think they're literally just going to pick a random spot in Hyrule and above, show off some of the things you can do the transition between them, and show some of the other things you can do down there. Maybe show us a little bit of the vehicle crafting. But, yeah.
Above, I believe you mean Skyrule, Triss.
It would be kind of cool if they split this presentation up into like 3 sections, and it was like sky, middle, underground.
Yeah,
and that was like that'd be kind of sick. Triss, let me ask you a question about this going from sky to the middle. How familiar are you with the classic PlayStation 4 launch title Lego Marvel Superheroes?
Oh, I've seen a bit of that.
Okay. In that game, you start off on like the helicarrier and you jump down into the open world, but it's kind of like this little sequence where it's like pretending it's all in one open world, but it's not really.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's kind of what we'll see here, or do you think it is like from here to here and all the space in between? That's we own that.
Oh, so like for example, like the diving down, almost acting like a loading screen.
Right.
You know what? I can kind of see that being a way to disguise it. Not like a full-on loading screen. Like it's not going to be the disguised loading screen you see in games now, where like someone's going through a crawl space just so they can load something on the other side of the crawl space. It's not going to be that, but it'll probably be kind of like how speedrunners take advantage of in Breath of the Wild. If you like launch yourself really far, really fast, the game just like stops for a second to load everything because you're going faster than it can render.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll see things like that, where going through the clouds, falling down is going to be how, during that time is when it's going to transition from lower poly, less detailed, to what you should actually be looking at.
Aren't we just
They spent a long time working.
No, because
but that had
because we're not actually putting
in a literal loading screen too.
Yeah, we're not talking about literally doing that.
See, because the thing I'm imagining is like if you drop and you basically have like imagine that my box right here on the stream is like the screen, and this is like and we're falling, and you can kind of move in this area, but you're always going down, and you don't really have any control to like go, okay, now I'm here and I'm gonna go across the map. Like, are you in like a tube slide going down?
No.
And that's
you don't think so? I don't think so. That's antithetical to the whole like open air concept of Breath of the Wild. Like if you're able to skydive, you're able to skydive as far as you can within the limits of the physics. There's not going to change that. John Burrows in the super chat says, "Take the hats off." What kind of stream do you think this is, John? You're just asking us to take our clothes off. Also, I don't think you want to see either of our morning hair. So Jake's probably been up a little bit longer than I have. I just woke up and it's not pretty. So
I got my
I went on a run this morning
display.
Tyler Dell with a super
John.
chat. Tyler Dell with another super chat, thank you, says that would be cool if they show Link being able to swim underwater, kind of like Skyward Sword, but better. I want to be able to skydive from a Skyland, into the ocean. Like if I could just go all the way from the sky to the sea, just like see how far down I can dive based on the momentum I have, reaching terminal velocity, that would be amazing.
Is there a splash?
That would be.
There better be a splash, Jake. There better be a big splash.
Right. That would be cool if in this gameplay demo there's a moment where it's like, and he goes, "Look at that splash!" Like that'd be great,
I hope that someone in the game actually comments that. Look at that splash.
Because if they have splash physics, think about all the things you could do with like objects in this game. Like you could hit a rock into a lake, you could see how it splashes. Like what if that's a whole thing,
The water ripples, like Metroid Prime.
How did Breath of the Wild handle it? I mean, I'm sure like
I don't remember.
I don't remember it standing out to me, which is probably a good thing because nothing bugs me more. That's not true, but few things bug me more in games than like, something dropping from a high height in the water makes this little pithy splash, this little nothing, like a little droplet.
Yeah, I think in Breath of the Wild, it just kind of went in. I think it just kind of,
there was nothing that's significant about it,
Yeah.
Valentine to the super chat. I want to see the return of Loftwings and Magma. Who's Magma?
Ooh. The Magmas were the mole people in Skyward Sword.
Oh, no, they can stay away. But Loftwings, however, yes, I'm cool with Loftwings coming back. But based on everything we're seeing, and not seeing, I guess, but the fact that we know seemingly a vehicle customization is in, is making me think Loftwings may not be. Because if you can fly, if you have to create your own vehicles to fly everywhere, would they have Loftwings too in addition to that?
That's true. That's true.
Huh. Oh, I've got a question. This has been on my mind. And I was thinking there's no way it shows up now, but now I'm thinking otherwise. The Nintendo Switch t-shirt in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You got that for purchasing the DLC pack, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any chance we see some kind of pre-order goodie or other like digital thingamabob that is like an extra weird thing? You know what I mean? Because we've already seen like those amiibo that can get you the special gliders. So special gliders are on the table.
Yep. A Switch glider.
So, what if they announced the next console through that t-shirt?
And it like opens his vest and
Oh my
he's wearing the
gosh.
actual shirt himself with Switch 2 on it.
Oh, that'd be sick, actually.
Yeah, that's not happening. Chat, we are now 40 minutes away from the premiere of the 10 minutes of gameplay video for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We're discussing our hopes and expectations before then. Let us know what you're hoping to see. I saw someone who predicted, do I have it here? Chris had said earlier, it will open with Aonuma reminding us that real horses don't run into trees. That'd be an amazing callback.
Yeah.
So,
A deep cut.
I've got a nice big prediction here that I don't know if you guys actually brought up on yesterday's video, but I mentioned in yesterday's stream rather, that it's something I definitely think is gonna happen during this. Probably in the last few minutes. After everything gets played, Aonuma's gonna go like, "Oh, what did you think?" But actually, first, I have a little something here, and he reaches down and he brings up the new Zelda Switch OLED. That the one that's been like rumored / leaked since like December. I think we're finally gonna see it today, and he's gonna like show it off in his hands, and then afterwards we'll see Nintendo put out like a proper like announcement video for it. With pre-orders for it probably opening up right away.
Yeah, lock it in. Guarantee. Will there be a special edition Pro controller? A startlingly few amount of those have ever been released on the Switch. Very weird how like Splatoon got 2 and
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got one.
Yes,
but 3
correct.
Didn't. Yep.
That one was cool looking.
We're not good.
It was cool.
They're done with the Pro controllers.
Really?
They're done. Yeah. You know, I noticed in the picture of Aonuma, he's not even using a Pro controller. And I'm just like, Aonuma, do you not like comfort?
I mean, how's he gonna surprise us with a special Pro controller if it's already on his desk, Joey? So
that's true.
Joey, we were talking about yesterday.
Pro controller.
But I think there's a reason he's using Joy-Con, and I think at some point in this presentation he's gonna go and check this out, and he's gonna have his little grip, and he's gonna go aching, aching, and there's gonna be some kind of either Joy-Con functionality, or he's gonna have Miyamoto sitting right there. He's gonna go, here you go, Miyamoto. Here's a little Joy-Con. Something's gonna go down. Yeah.
It's so strange. In all the years of owning the Switch, I've
I
never heard him make that noise when I disconnected the Joy-Cons. It's
Andre clearly has no IRL friends. Okay, that's the self-report.
No, what bothers me is the sound Jake makes is almost the exact sound the Joy-Con HD Rumble makes when you collect a coin in Mario Kart 8.
I'm just
it's this weird hollow noise, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird whenever you have the volume turned down, you hear everything. It's rumbling. Yeah.
We got a super chat from Cryptic. Thank you so much. I would like to see a tease of magic coming back. We got magic in some weapons, but something like Din's fire, etc., was missing from Breath of the Wild. I mean, I mean, I guess there's already kind of magic stuff, like at least attached to the weapons. Like I remember, Jake, you brought this up in our discussion last week of that shot projectiles.
Yeah.
I froze. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hammer thing that shot projectiles, that thing.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I don't know if it'll be tied to a magic meter. It'll probably have its own meter, but we'll see.
I want more meters. Yes, I think a magic meter would be good, especially to help. I don't know. I feel like having a larger limitation on how often you can use the rune powers, for instance, would probably be a good thing, or whatever the equivalent is in this game. Because I've said it before, like, you could abuse bombs like crazy in Breath of the Wild to the point that it made some battles super easy. Like, use a square bomb, switch to the round bomb. By the time you throw that, the square bomb is back. So, and I think having more... Go ahead.
I got another meter for you, Andre. Got another meter.
Yes. Give it to me.
Gas.
There we go. Yeah. Vehicles are here, which... that's a great question. Before we get to that, actually, though, we had a comment from a fellow Andre, so of course I have to read it, who says, "You guys are always on top of all news Nintendo, and I gotta say I admire the passion and enthusiasm. I hope this new Zelda is what everyone expects of it." Thank you so much, Andre Santos. Also, a last name that begins with S, so clearly these are good people, but thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. But yes, are we going to see vehicles today? Is Aonuma going to show that off?
I think we'll see a little bit.
I feel like they have to.
Yeah.
Jake?
Yeah,
they have to. By what extent, I'm not sure. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. I'm probably lagging like hell, but that's fine. Yeah, I feel like they kind of have to. And you mentioned the gas meter. What's it called from Breath of the Wild had that too. The Master Cycle Zero.
Yeah, but yeah. Yes. Yeah, no, I definitely think vehicle customization is going to be here to some degree, but it might be making one of the ones we already saw. And Aonuma would be like, "Oh, like we showed this off in an earlier trailer, but look, here's how you can actually make it, and it'll be the specific one of the specific ones that was already shown."
All right, we may have breaking news here. I don't know if it's breaking, but a super chat from Zach who says, "Don't know if it's been talked about. Don't know if it's been talked about, but apparently the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED has been seen on GameStop's website."
Yes, I was just looking into this before what I just mentioned, but according to the Tears of the Kingdom subreddit, as reported by My Nintendo News and a couple other places now, supposedly a new Switch SKU has appeared on GameStop's website as of today.
Oh, so, yeah, the Switch, that's like misworded. The Switch has not appeared on the website. A SKU has appeared on the back end for GameStop employees.
To fill in,
yeah.
So so lock it in. I mean, I think we all expected it. Now it's basically confirmed. We're seeing a new Switch today in terms of a branded Switch, a Zelda Switch. So that'll be cool.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
We'll see if it matches the design of the supposed leak or not. That'll be interesting.
It will.
Anton, with a super chat, thank you, says, "Hello, all of GameXplain. Do you want to see weapon/item crafting, maybe with a recipe book to go along with it?" That is the only way I want to see it, is with a recipe book. Like, I can never remember any of the good cooking ingredients or cooking recipes from Breath of the Wild. So I'll just end up cooking like 5 sticks at a time or 5 apples or whatever else. Because I can never remember. I'm like, what's this do? So
here's the thing though. The recipe book is in real life, and you have to actually have it with you while you play the game.
I think that's probably a guidebook.
That's why the game's $70. That's why it's $70.
There we go.
You're paying the extra.
Joey, I'm kind of into that. I had some friends that would tell me, like, when they were doing shrines and other puzzles in Zelda, that they liked having like a little notebook next to them. I'm kind of into that vibe. But in terms of weapon and item crafting, I really think we're going to see weapon modding. And I think that's something that could definitely be shown off today. And the more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I totally see a system where, like, Andre, somebody like you might be like, I'm happy with like my normal bow and arrows. I'm going to get this stuff done, no problem. But then, like, in the trailer, we saw that homing arrow hit that enemy. And maybe that's because, like, oh, we got this resource. You can mod your arrows. You go to a classic video game workbench and, you know, you get it done and you can make things better, but it's probably not like necessary.
You know, it's funny because this has actually been an element to some degree before, specifically in Skyward Sword, where you could augment at the least your shield. I'm thinking that perhaps more with different things you found to improve its stats. I forget exactly how it worked, but yeah, they could just build out that system effectively, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do. That seems like an obvious area to flesh out the gameplay.
I have to read this comment from Josh and T. Link needs to get fat. There should be consequences for his gluttony. And I'm like, well, Jake said his hair. Exactly.
San Antonio.
That's exactly what I thought. Eiji Aonuma said, like, hey, not only do we take inspiration from Red Dead 2, which he's actually said, we also took inspiration from another Rockstar classic, GTA San Andreas. So now Link will get fat. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Link's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He's always running. He's always gliding. He's gonna stay in shape no matter how many calories he burns. He's like a swimmer in that sense.
100%, Joey. Link is not eating any processed food. It is clean as heck. But the more I've been thinking about it, I've been getting more and more attached to my as a kind of like visual indicator to the player of time always passing. My idea of him needing to get a haircut, I'm becoming attached to that. Actually, I think that'd be really cool if we could get our haircut.
You know, after that, Jake, if we do get that, we need Mario to be able to cut his mustache in the Mario games.
Oh my god.
Or shave it or whatever.
Styles?
Get different styles, yeah, exactly.
You can go full beard. You can go.
Why not? Full beard to Mario.
Yeah.
Elijah with a super chat. Thank you, Elijah, who says, is that Elijah? Yes, it is. Hopefully you can display your cooked dishes on tables in Link's house like an Animal Crossing LOL. You know what? Cool. I kind of love that idea.
And they'd rot, though, because it's like you can't just leave food out for a week.
I do hope they have an explanation for why Link can carry like 40 different meals of them around at a time. Like 40 full cooked meals, and it's no big deal for him.
Not even just the meals, Andre. He's carrying 500 shields.
Yes, exactly. They need some kind of like Pokemon tech to explain where it's all going. John Burrows of the super chat, thank you, says, time for thick Link. There we go.
Yeah.
Joey. Anton, the super chat, says, last question, do you think Tears of the Kingdom will truly feel like a sequel to Breath of the Wild in terms of quality, content, scope, etc.?
That's the hope. That's really like the big hope, that it feels like a true sequel to the game and not just what could have been a large DLC expansion. The hope is that it really feels like the next game, completely building off of it, taking everything Breath of the Wild did and just going even crazier with it.
Right. Yeah, I think the biggest question is how much of I think it will in terms of gameplay, absolutely. Perhaps not in the exact sense we're expecting, which I don't even know what we are expecting. But in the set, I am curious about how it will function as a sequel, because that's generally been the weak point, if you will, of the Zelda series. That even the games that are like essentially direct sequels barely are. Like Majora's Mask is its own weird spin-off more than anything. Link's Awakening, I think, was originally technically a sequel to Link to the Past, but it didn't really matter. So.
Oh yeah, but in that case, though, a lot of those sequels were released fairly close to the previous game. They were iterated on and released within a few years after, like at most 2 for many of them. Whereas now, we've had a very long time between these 2 games.
Sorry, what's your
super long time?
What are you suggesting with that though?
Oh, I'm saying I think it might comparing it to how past Zelda sequels have been done may not be the best comparison to make in this case, because the situations between them are very different.
Right. So are you suggesting it'll be more of a direct sequel in that case then?
I think so. Yeah.
Story-wise, okay. Yeah, we can hope. Nintendo's always been a gameplay first type of company though, so we'll see what kind of story branches out from that. Cryptic with the super chat says, is there a chance to see a delay for like 2023/2024? 0% chance.
No.
Nope. They've been doing their own official countdown on some social media channels, and now that we know there's a SKU coming for a new Switch, 0% chance of it happening. Progo with the super chat, I believe there will be monsters that can only be taken down with armed custom vehicles such as tanks and stuff. A Gleeok, for example.
I can see that.
I love this.
That reminds me.
That kind of takes away the freedom from the player.
You can definitely still do it on your own, but I think it's going to be like encouraged.
Easier.
Because, exactly. Because it's going to be one of those things that like a year after launch, some Zelda sickos are posting those videos going, hey, if you reverse time and turn the Earth into a star, you can destroy Gleeok before he's even born. It's like, okay, great. Yeah,
before he's born. There's like some Metal Gear stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Jake, you'd love this comment from Confused. Arkham Knight again? Oh no.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. It's Arkham Knight, yeah.
We are now less than 28 minutes away from the premiere of the 10 minutes of gameplay for Tears of the Kingdom. So if you're watching now, we're just discussing our hopes and dreams for it. In the meantime, we had a comment from George that says, is Andres 3DS still loading the badge arcade? It probably is. We'll see how long the battery lasts on that. Evard, ED Gaming with a super chat, thank you, says, would there be shrines in Tears of the Kingdom? That's something we have not seen at all. Like, you would think those would be everywhere, considering they could be found everywhere in Breath of the Wild, but we've seen nothing, Triss, so what are you thinking?
I think we'll see shrines in essence. We'll see something that takes the same place that shrines did. Maybe even like on a bunch of the Sky Islands, we'll see a bunch of like smaller puzzles to solve with rewards that serve the same purpose, but the physical shrines themselves that are scattered throughout Hyrule, I don't think are going to be there again. No.
What about those green swirly things in the open world? Do you think those are like the shrines?
Those are either like the shrines, or they're like they serve the same purpose after finishing them of a bunch of fast travel points. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, I find this pretty disappointing. I've heard this a few times that like the Sky Islands are going to take the place of the shrines, and to me, part of the fun of the shrine was like being able to get out of the big open world and have something that is essentially like a bare bones on its own little like hold it in your hand puzzle almost. And if it's just like out there on the I don't know, like it doesn't have the same like fun feeling of going in for me and being like, oh, what am I about to see? What's the layout going to be like?
That's fair.
But at the same time, it's like we've seen enough of this map that if there was something like the shrines, we would have seen it by now. So
unless
I'm
they
concerned.
hid them,
sure,
they can still take stuff out of trailers. But we have other super chats. Vinny to the K says, has Link been so far as to want to do more like
I remember that. I remember that meme. That is an old one. That is a throwback. Oh my god.
I don't remember this meme. What's it based on?
I don't remember this.
There was like some old post on a forum that was just like absolute nonsense. But I remember somebody like I went to like high school with like had this memorized and would just bust it out sometimes. It was always hilarious.
It's like Kinsama's crawl, basically.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah.
Michael Henderson.
Why can't Metroid crawl?
Michael Henderson with the super chat, thank you. Says time traveling between all games to preview events. Time traveling between all games to preview events. Oh, to prevent. Thank you. To prevent events. I'm like preview events. How's that gonna work? Link's traveling to play his own game. So time traveling between all games to prevent events. That would be that. You know, I love that. That's an awesome concept for a game now. Like I'm almost picturing like a WarioWare type setup for Zelda, where you're hopping between different past battles. Dude, oh, man,
I know, Andre, I know you're not interested in this, but I think this is kind of what Destiny 2 is setting up for its final expansion next year. Yeah, you're going to be going back through all the old content, seeing old characters and stuff. But yeah, that'd be so cool, especially if like you went into a different art style.
Oh my god, exactly.
Cool. That would be cool.
Sick.
Vinny to the K is happy that is laughing that the meme got recognized. He's like, LOL, he recognized it. Nice. We got a super chat from Vinny Turillo. Thank you. No comment. Just enjoying the energy, I think. Jake the Kid to the super chat says Brendan Fraser for Link in Tears of the Kingdom. That would be quite the surprise.
Oscar-winning actor now, so he's got to
And,
do it.
you know, he did play the whale, Joey, so there you go.
I was going to say, put him in. Thick Link. He's here.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think one fun thing, super chat earlier about the different monsters, about like ways to defeat them, reminded me the monsters from what we've seen have like weapons on their heads. There's like horns now, and I think it'd be really neat if when you defeat these monsters, it drops the horn as like a part of a weapon to be able to craft it.
Yeah. What if you can wear the horn as a horn?
That'd be pretty. That would actually be pretty funny.
Yeah, I think, I am kind of getting the vibe that we'll definitely, there'll be a lot more customization here, and I think you will be able to craft more things out of enemy parts, for instance, at the least. I always felt I think the enemy parts never quite gelled for me, at least, I don't know, thematically more than anything, and how you use them at Breath of the Wild to make potions and stuff. It's like, okay, I'll use this horn, and it has this random effect.
Andre, good point. I never did that. Yeah. I definitely never. I was Bokoblin horn. I sold it, I think, to get like a little bit of money. You know, right. Yeah.
Austin with a super chat. Thank you. Says, what do they introduce the creepy concept art creatures into the sequel? Oh man, is this from the book? I'm not sure what.
I don't know.
No, I think the original Breath of the Wild had a bunch of like really creepy designs for like the Guardians, for example, before they went with the mechanical design. That's what I think back to, at least in terms of the creepy ones.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see some of those get revisited.
Well, the Redeads are back, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Is this related to like the UFO aliens? I remember that was a thing at one point.
Yeah. Things like that. There was a lot of like really creepy concepts in the original Breath of the Wild and like the art book and such.
Cool.
Some more super chats. Cryptic with a good question. Do previous champions return, or do we see new ones?
Ooh,
I don't know if we. I think they're only going to return like in ghost form. Maybe I don't know if we see new ones.
I don't think even those ones will return from the original Breath of the Wild. I think it'll be the descendants in quotes that helped you in like the present day. I think they'll be.
So maybe those are the new champions.
But yeah.
Unless
I kind of think so. Oh, please.
Unless you start with your entire inventory from the first game, which you would naturally have them back anyway.
Oh yeah, I want to share. Andre had a great idea in our stream yesterday, where you were like, if it like read your save data and it was your Link when you started the game,
that'd be cool.
That would be so cool. But Tris, I think I'm with you with the champions. I feel like we got to de-emphasize the ghostly dead ones and super re-emphasize the ones that are actually alive. Give them something to do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, being able to carry over your save file would actually be a great way of doing a sequel, like the super chat had asked earlier. That's your clear connection between games.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Henderson, go ahead, Tris.
We did miss.
I think we did miss one earlier. Yeah, from Lawrence Huberns for $5. saying, excited to see Tears of the Kingdom gameplay. Made this Fiverr get you West Coast boys some coffee. Y'all look tired.
Well, thank you. Yes, I actually barely slept last night too. I was just lying in bed. Whenever there's like an event coming up in the morning, it's like like 50% chance whether I'll get any sleep or not. And last night, sadly, was not any. So yeah, appreciate that.
Andre, were you like in bed clutching your Wii U gamepad, just like rocking back and forth?
It was a rough day yesterday, man. We had so many things dying, and then we had this coming up. Oh man, it's not.
Yeah.
Gamebiter with the super chat, thank you. Says, hope Breath of the Wild has some quests on the level of Terrytown. Was the one quest line in Breath of the Wild that made me feel like I was making a difference in the world. You know, that's a great point, and that's something we actually discussed based on Aonuma's comments for our weekly countdown series this past Saturday, where we thought maybe, is this what he's suggesting, that maybe Terrytown or that idea will be expanded upon for this new game where you can make a bigger impact in the world? Because because for as interactive and dynamic as Breath of the Wild is, there is very little you could do that would actually like make a meaningful impact on the state of the world. So I would hope they flesh that out.
We got another super chat from earlier, Michael Henderson. Blacksmithing weapons from designs found in the sky.
I love that idea. If you find like blueprints or weapons, then you have to find the materials to actually make them. I think that'd be kind of cool, actually. I like that idea.
But would that be, you mentioned blueprints. The obvious thing for that, I think, is vehicle design. Would you find blueprints?
Yeah, but I think you could also do that for like some weapons. Like weapons that you can't conventionally like buy or find off of enemies, but you'd have to actually make yourself.
I kind of feel like I kind of feel like blueprints are a little antithetical to like what the Zelda game, you know what I mean? That like I hear what you're saying though. I think it would be cool if like it was to make specific things that maybe like don't break or are special in a certain way. You know, it's like it's not just like how to make this thing that you could make if you you know, because otherwise, what with the freedom of making things, I feel like there's friction there.
I mean, you're not wrong, Jake, but at the same time, you know, that was what Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was all about, and they still give you some blueprints to like start your designs or base things on.
Okay.
So obviously, this is a sequel to that game more than it is Breath of the Wild. So
yeah, maybe like you can quickly make things that you find blueprints for. You know, you don't have to like place all the objects or whatever. It can just kind of like. Yeah.
Maybe you can make your own blueprints. Like, hey, I made this design once, then I can just quickly rebuild it based off that.
Share a blueprint online with a QR code? Oh,
that'd be nice.
That'd be so cool.
No, bring back Miiverse. Please.
No. We are now 19 minutes away from the start of the release of the 10 minutes of gameplay, so we'll be showing it off as soon as it's available on Nintendo's YouTube channel, we assume. Beefy asks, will you guys do a breakdown video at the 10 minutes? Oh, count on it. Like, there'll probably be much more than just a breakdown video, so we'll have a lot for it, so stay tuned.
We'll have all of our usual content, most likely.
We had a super chat from Jay Tonka, maybe? Sorry if I mispronounced that, who says, 10 minutes of gameplay, does that mean whole presentation is longer? Trailer, maybe? Also, do we get to see the HUD? I think yes to most of that. I think it'll be longer. Yeah. Trailer, I'm not certain about.
I thought it was the only one who cared about the HUD, but a lot of people care about the HUD, which is great to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see the HUD, but we're actually seeing gameplay. So we're going to see, maybe we're not going to see the whole interface probably, but, you know, will he actually access the menus? We don't know. But I think at the least we'll see the quick select menu, and we'll see the, you know, the UI surrounding the main gameplay. So, Jack Howe asks with a super chat, Link needs 4 wood planks to make a crafting table.
Oh, great.
That's kind of funny.
Tears of the Minecraft.
Yeah.
You can't make a 3-legged table in this game?
That'd be kind of funny too.
Oh man. So yeah, we're close. We're closer than ever to having actual gameplay of this game, and that's going to be forever the case for the next 17 minutes. That's exciting.
Yeah. Wow.
Got another super chat from Michael Henderson. Like the hook shot.
Oh,
are you saying you like the hook shot? Because I like it too.
If we got that in, that'd be great though.
I think that may have been a follow-up to something, but what if you can craft a hook shot or like some kind of web slinging type device? Jake, I know you're big in Spider-Man.
Yeah, so this is like, I think Nintendo has an opportunity right now to really like shut up any 2023 Switch hater. This is, I really like for real, because this I think has the potential or is situated to be not just like the biggest Nintendo game of the year, but one of the biggest games of the year, period. All eyes are on Nintendo and Zelda right now. And I think like they reinvented the open world game with Breath of the Wild. And now I am looking for a similar level of, oh my God, none of us thought of this. This is their every other open world game. Take notice because this is awesome. And I think a big part for me with that is that I would love to see any form of traversal that looks fun to do. That the act of playing the game on Nintendo Switch, haters be darned, is like, oh my God, I can't wait to do all the game stuff aside, I can't wait to do that just like physical act. If they've got something like that up their sleeves, it's also Jim Jam Sam, fantastic name.
Yeah, it's great.
In the chat says I'm blind with hype, and here's the thing, I am a little bit, but it's just because I really believe in this team. I really do. I think they've got something. I think they've been working for almost the entire life of the Switch console on this.
Yeah.
On a game for the Switch hardware. So yes. It's really exciting. It is reassuring that they didn't rush this. I mean, you figure, the original Horizon came out just before Breath of the Wild, and that's been out for what, a year now? Whereas they've been working on Tears of the Kingdom even longer than that. So, really makes me excited to see what exactly they've cooked up here. Mick Red Giant did the super chat. Thank you, Mick Red, who says, "Congrats on the engagement, Jake."
Aw, thank you. Dude, this has been warming my heart. Been getting a lot of love on all of our streams on Twitter, all sorts of stuff, and it makes my fiance so heartwarmed and so happy whenever I go to the stream and I go, hey, look, you got a shout out here. It's like really sweet. So thank you all. Thank you for being here, getting hype with us for Zelda. Hanging out. Yeah,
that's awesome. That says Nintendo share the actual stream link challenge. Yeah, that's what we're thinking is not going to be a stream now. It's probably going to be a video drop. Not even a premiere at this point. Just straight up a video drop on the channel. So as soon as it's out there, we'll be bringing it up, which is now just 14 minutes away. Michael Henderson with another super chat. Thank you, Michael. Says, watch the video. Concludes with the Zelda movie. Oh my God. That's not happening, but I wish it would.
That would be great.
No, they've got all focuses on the Mario movie right now. But man, I want a Zelda movie so freaking bad, or a TV show, or anything. Tony Baker with a super chat, thank you, says, good morning. Shout out to the new GameXplain members. Since the addition of Joey, Tris, and Jake, my interest in the channel has been refreshed. Y'all rock. Happy Tears of the Kingdom gameplay day.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Me too, Tony. When Joey got added, I could not stop watching.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna turn that into like throwing funny shade, like, oh, when Joey got added, I was like, okay, I need to get on that team myself or something.
Yeah, right.
Oh, gotta save the channel. Let me get on there.
I've been internet crushing on Joey for years secretly, and that's the only reason I'm here is that I'm making my move now. Yeah.
Don't tell your fiance.
Very good.
Again.
Don't tell her. Yeah, don't tell her.
Bona Bice, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, which I'm sure I am, says Breath of the Wild took everything from other open world games. I believe that's what they're saying. They definitely took, I mean, obviously there's inspiration. I think Nintendo has said as much themselves, but what they managed to do is they managed to coagulate it all in a way that I think no other game had done. And on top of offering their own innovations too. So yeah, I mean, the road to Breath of the Wild obviously was partially paid by others, but I think that undermines the accomplishment that Breath of the Wild was itself.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there really were Vista-based open world games before Breath of the Wild. If I'm being totally honest,
forget open air. Vista-based is where it's at.
Yeah, for real though.
Windows Vista.
That like I still play like open world games that are like modern that came out like that last year, like Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm like, man, my eyes are glued to that mini map in the corner. Yeah. And it like, you know what I mean? And the way that they were able to do it just in a satisfying way, in like coming upon something, figuring it out, as I said to Joey in one of our discussions, non-Googleable puzzles, just finding something and being like, I know this is something. And playing with it for a second, like that I think that really, I think they make it look easy. And there's a reason that even like open world games now, nobody has really been able to nail the thing that Breath of the Wild nailed.
Right.
Even though they have been like taking some things from it for sure. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yamin to the super chat. Thank you. Says here to watch Eiji Aonuma procedural generated Hyrule. You know,
oh gosh.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I mean, that sounds like a nightmare. I would not be
That's a
surprised
nightmare.
if there are. I think it's possible there are specific areas that are procedurally generated. We touched on this a little bit yesterday, but I don't think it's going to be a focal point of this game. So,
Right. No.
but maybe
No.
I don't know. Maybe they found an interesting way of doing it otherwise. But I don't think it's going to be a major thing, if at all. The Angry Teddy of the Super Chat says they obviously wouldn't show it if they were the case. But do you think that Mummy Ganondorf will become regular Ganondorf at some point?
Yes,
I hope so.
Ganondorf absolutely gets rehydrated at some point.
Rehydrated.
Yes, rehydrated. His official name should be Rehydrated Ganon.
It should be, and then he should be added to Smash as that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Quispy Joe with a super chat, thank you, says, you ever thought about replaying the CDI games for charity or something? Oh man, you know, it's never once crossed my mind. That would be interesting though. For as many memes as there are about them, I don't really even know how they play. So that actually might be.
You suffered with
man.
Sticker Star. I think you can survive Zelda.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
good
don't
point.
even know what those games are, so I'm kind of curious to see them. But I want to hit the next super chat because it's John Burrows saying, "Thank you for the $2. Appreciate it. Swap Jake for Tom." And listen, if John, I want you to listen to this. But Tom, if you're out there, you'll have to come over to my house. You'll have to hit the get off the call. But you're not getting. Tom's not getting on here. Okay, maybe Joe. If it was Joey, maybe. But Tom, no way.
On my way.
We are now 10 minutes away from the premiere of the 10 minutes of gameplay, which is fitting. So wow, the gap from now to then is the same as the gameplay itself. So it's going to give you a pretty good idea. In case you don't know how long 10 minutes is, you're going to have a really good idea in 10 minutes from now of how long that chunk of time might be. Skids with the super chat, thank you. Says, preparing disappointment from scalpers on OLED. Yeah, that's smart to be prepared in advance.
Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. Just don't buy it. A new Switch is coming soon, so just don't.
No, I'm buying that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say,
Okay,
Tris,
fine.
you're buying it, right? You're
No,
totally
I'm
buying it.
definitely getting that. As much as I wanted the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet OLED because it looks so good, I have held off because I knew we were going to be getting one for Zelda. It would be criminal if they didn't.
Yeah.
I need it.
Omni Universal with a super chat, thank you. Says, will Link go in space to fight the Blood Moon face?
Oh my gosh, that'd be really funny.
Bro, it's gonna be like Portal 2. So good.
Man, that'd be amazing. Jacob, there is no stream link as of now, and there probably won't be. They're just going to shallow drop the trailer, or not shallow drop, just drop the trailer onto their channel, I think. So we'll be showing off here in 9 minutes now. Xiao Jemmy, I think, with a super chat says Amiibo locked gear as much as Breath of the Wild or less. So are we expecting?
I think more, actually. I think it'll be because I think most of the Amiibo gear from Breath of the Wild probably will just come back in the same way. And then we also know there's the Amiibo paragliders now. So
I think they're doing a swap. I think we're gonna see it be like lesser things. I think maybe they'll try and keep the outfits like in the game. I think maybe that wasn't super well received. And maybe the glider, because I'm anticipating, Tris, I wonder if you agree with me that because we have indication that some amiibo give you special gliders, you can probably customize your glider on your own in the game, right?
Yeah, you probably can.
Okay. So, and I think that's a good sign. But like having those entire, I feel like some of the coolest costumes in this game were maybe in Breath of the Wild were locked behind amiibo, weren't they?
Some of them, yeah, they were either amiibo or locked behind DLC.
Oh God, if it's just the same, that's like, come on, like what are you doing? They didn't they like reprint some of those amiibo though?
They have been reprinting some of those amiibo, and I actually managed to snag a pre-order for one the other day, and I'm very happy about that because I missed out on,
which one, Tris? Which one?
The Majora's Mask Young Link.
That's the one I've been thinking about, Tris.
Yep.
Oh, because that glider is so cool.
It is. I need that. That Majora's Mask glider looks so good.
Cool. I think it is time for me to log off. So is that, Andre, are you ready to handle that?
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. So I'm going to switch over pretty soon to our full, actually you went before, yeah, actually I'll probably switch over to our full layout so we can sit here in anticipation of the video being dropped. Jake, though, thanks for joining us. Jake's going to head off to start preparing for actual content based on the video as soon as it drops. But Jake, hope you enjoy the show. So
Thank you. Yes, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for having me. Stay tuned for vertical content from your boy. Okay,
yeah, vertical
That's right. The shorts, baby. Thanks, everybody. Okay, enjoy. Man, really quick, so hyped. So excited. Can't wait to see what it is. Okay. Bye, everybody.
All right. See you, Jake.
Bye. All right. Our buddy Don is in the chat. He says, I'll be real, playing the Zelda CDI games, and before Breath of the Wild, they were the only games in my language. Philips is a Dutch company, so that's why.
Wow.
Sad. Big sad.
Big sad. All right. Hopefully, things should be looking right now, chat. Sorry for the brief disruption there, but we should be all set while we wait on the YouTube channel for this video to appear. All right, Tris, where's your hype at now?
I'm still at 9 and 10. I'm very excited about it. I need to to go up that one last number from a 10 or to a 10 rather. I need to see the gameplay like blow my mind.
Right.
And 9 out of 10 is fantastic, by the way. Just saying. I'm not downplaying that.
We had some super chats, by the way. Go ahead, Joey.
Go. Oh, I was just gonna say I'm super nervous because I want because if you know me, I have not been super hyped for this game. Like I'm gonna get it anyway, of course, but I want to feel excited for it, and none of the trailers have gotten me like even close to as excited as I was for Breath of the Wild. So I really want to come away from this like way more excited than I was, and I'm nervous that it's not going to change anything.
That's a tall order. It's as excited as Breath of the Wild. I don't know. That's a whole new thing. I don't know if Tears of the Kingdom is going to be able to match up to that. I don't need to be as excited as Breath of the Wild. I just want to be excited. Okay. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Omniversal with a super chat. Thank you. Says imagine Link glider is added to the FNOG glider. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
FNOG. I'm not sure on that.
I wish Jake were here to explain it. He'd probably know. Josh with the super chat. Thank you. Says fingers crossed for a short-haired Zelda amiibo. You can never have enough Zeldas. I'm sure a lot of people would buy that.
True.
Would not be surprised.
Absolutely.
Actually, do we get an amiibo today? Real quick. Yes or no?
I think Aonuma will show.
I said real quick, Tris.
Specifically the announced Link amiibo. I don't think we'll get.
Oh, you don't think we get new ones? Okay.
But I think he'll show that one physically.
The Angry Teddy of the super chat says, "Do you think that Tears of the Kingdom will beat Breath of the Wild and Majora's Mask was the Ocarina of Time?" I actually hope so. I love Majora's Mask. I think it's actually better than the Ocarina of Time. So this game is as weird as that was for its time, and that much different, and in my opinion, improved. Heck yes, sign me up. But at the same time, I know that'll probably be pretty divisive.
It's not going to be weird. It's not going to be as weird as Majora's Mask, I don't think. It's still going to be like, because, Majora's Mask had the timer, the layout of the map was very...
We don't know this doesn't have a timer.
Like, simplified. Well, if it has a timer, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Don't rush me when I play my games.
So that'll get me hyped if there's a timer.
We're getting a lot more super chats.
All right, we gotta go through this quick.
We got 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Quispy Joe with another super chat. Thank you. Says Nintendo releases the Zelda Anthology Collection, NES, a bunch of games, a bunch of platforms for $150 with custom box. Would you buy? Yes.
Probably yes.
That sounds amazing. Noah Charles Amanda, the super chat. Thank you. Says not into the pit, it burns. Is that that's gotta be a reference to something? Is
this another meme? I don't.
Yeah, it might be another meme. Well, thank you for the super chat. Nicholas with the super chat says Nintendo Store UK had a listing banned for a new Switch OLED bundle, and now it says 404 page unavailable. Ooh. Potentially new Switch. Maybe once video drops, it will be available. So apparently, GameStop had a listing or some kind of SKU implementation as well. It seems like it's a sure bet at this point. We're getting a new OLED probably for Tears of the Kingdom. Next. Super chat from Yoon Park of always Yoon Park. Thank you, Yoon, who says, "Hey guys, how's it going now? Are you excited, guys?" Yes, I think.
Very
I think
much,
Joey's excited to be excited. So,
yeah.
Chris Brooks of the super chat says, "% chance of information outside of the 10 minutes general presentation." I think there'll be. I think there'll be more than the 10 minutes. So I don't know. There'll probably be some little information, maybe, but I don't know how much.
A little bit. I'd say like if. I think the only other new information outside the gameplay will be like the OLED in terms of like a big info drop out of this.
Jody Anthony with a super chat, thank you, says, "Love your work, GameXplain. I'm expecting a 4-hour analysis. No pressure, Tris."
Oh man. Oh man, we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be. I know. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they actually show here. Like, I feel like it's hard to say whether there will be a lot to analyze or if it'll just be such a thorough showcase. There may not be all that much. But then again, whenever there is something, there's always something more to dig into deeper. Because they'll touch on some things without fully exploring it, I imagine. But we'll see. 10 minutes is both not a lot, but also a decent amount of time at the same time. It's weird. So
yep.
Yeah.
Chris Brooks with the super chat. Star Fox Adventures is still based, by the way. I think there's some people that would agree with you, definitely. We're under 2 minutes away, by the way, from the start of this video, or from hopefully the release of this video. So we got it up. We're on their YouTube channel. We're waiting for it to drop, baby. I'm also on their Twitter account. So hopefully we'll get it soon. But the Angry Teddy with the super chat.
Refresh on my subscription feed.
Perfect. The Angry Teddy with a super chat says, do you think that Tears of the Kingdom will get a case of Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky, where the hype is so great that it can never live up to those expectations?
I don't think anyone's unreasonably hyped for this game.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't see it being anything more outlandish than most of the Nintendo games get.
We are less than 1 minute away now. Oh my goodness, less than 1 minute. Oh, I'm excited now. It's starting to become real. It's starting to become real. All right, where's this video, Nintendo? I'm gonna start refreshing. Where's this video? We need it. It's not time yet, so it wouldn't be there yet. But come on.
6:59.
I wish Windows had the seconds counter now. It's so annoying they got rid of that. I don't know how many seconds away. How many seconds away are we from 7 a.m. Pacific time? I need this video, or 10 a.m. Eastern time, wherever you are.
Oh man.
Let's do a countdown. 10.
Oh, it's 7. It's 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m., Joey. You're behind.
Okay.
All right, I'm not seeing anything. Let me check their Twitter.
I'm not.
No, nothing yet. I'm not seeing anything
there it
yet.
Is. I have it.
You have
found it?
Okay, cool.
I have it.
Link.
I'll put it in the chat right now.
Yes,
okay,
please.
I'll put it in the chat right now.
All right, I'm great. Do you put in GX
It's
main?
13 minutes.
Can you put in GX main?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Put in the little side chat.
Okay, thank you. Here we go. All right, we got it. Let's go.
Are we counting down for starting it?
No. Oh yeah. We gotta do a countdown. So, sorry. You ready? Everyone ready?
Ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. Chat, let us know how it sounds. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series.
Oh, there's music.
They better release it on its own.
Development on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete.
It's done.
Oh.
It's
Thank
ready.
you very much for waiting.
I think it's going to get delayed.
Many of you are looking forward to this game,
You
and
don't
we've
say
released
Aonuma.
a few trailers so far. Although it'll just be a brief glimpse, I'm going to actually play the game for you all today and show you what it's like.
Show me.
Okay?
People
Let's
saying
begin.
I see some people saying the volume could be higher, but they
Here we
turn
are
it
in the land of Hyrule.
Is that good?
The HUD looks this.
Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild,
HUD looks
there's a
similar.
vast
Mostly
world to
similar.
explore.
There's a new button on the
Of
top
course,
left.
it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways. If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll
Yeah,
seek
that
them out
horse
for
riding
yourself
theme from
when the
Breath of the
game
Wild.
launches.
The mini-map has latitude and longitude.
In this game,
Oh, wow.
the vast world of
Makes sense.
Hyrule reaches high into the sky.
Wait, there's a fuel meter.
You'll notice
that
some
fuel?
land masses floating
No,
up there.
No, that's temperature.
We call them
that's it, okay.
Sky Islands.
Sky Islands, not Skylands.
You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up?
Here we go.
Show me.
Show us.
Is this a new ranch?
If we
No,
take a
no,
look,
no, I remember
oh,
this.
something's falling from the sky.
Yep, something's falling.
What?
Do you see it? I wonder what that is. Let's head over to it.
Oh, this is the ranch by the horse god, I think. No. Oh, this is a new
We're
ranch.
almost
There's
at
a
the
dueling
spot where the
beasts.
object fell. Here it is. Okay, let's use one of Link's new abilities. If you do this on the rock
Oh, yeah,
that
with
just
the L
fell,
button. Look at that.
look, it started
Rewind.
rising.
That's cool.
This power is
That's
known
really
as
cool.
recall, which rewinds an object's movement.
Recall.
Since I just used recall
Total
on the
recall.
fallen rock, I can now rise into the sky. We're a lot closer to the Sky Islands.
Wow.
Let's use the paraglider to reach one of them.
Okay, I like the dive.
There
That
are
dive
a
was
few other
nice.
Sky Islands floating here too. I made it.
I get stressed that he's gliding facing away from the
There are
camera.
lots of ways to reach the Sky Islands, so we hope you'll try a few different methods.
Okay, we
Okay,
gotta cut.
now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures.
Ooh, that sword icon on the L
Some
button
trees
now.
are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface, though. Let's walk around for a bit.
The mini map for the Sky Islands looks really cool too, actually. It's got that depth to it.
Yep.
There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up. It might come in handy later. Let's continue. Oh, something's there.
Enemy.
This is a brand new enemy called a construct. We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up. Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and... we defeated it.
Yes. Take that enemy.
Moving on.
The word Zonai has
We've now
officially
explored
appeared
more
in
of
the
this Sky
game.
Island.
Oh my god, the
Great.
Zelda
As
tubers are
expected,
freaking out.
fighting with just a branch won't get us very far.
I missed that.
Also, this branch is almost broken.
It was
So
the
here's
material.
another one of Link's new
There
abilities.
you go.
If we use this branch and the rock over here and do this, look, we can stick them together.
Oh my, there we
Created a
go.
makeshift hammer. This is called fuse.
How strong
You
is
can
Link?
stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects. Let's
New
take on another
weapon crafting.
construct with this fused weapon. We're dealing with two of them at once.
Oh, they're alerting something.
Yeah. Eat it.
Oh, we beat one.
Wow. You were just smashing
The weapon's
them with
attack has
rock.
definitely improved. The other branch broke, but this weapon has much better durability.
People saying we need to be turned down a little.
You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse ability. You can fuse two weapons, for example. If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork,
Why is it called?
we can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
It's gonna go like pole vaulting.
With this, we don't have to get too close to enemies, and we can safely attack from a distance.
Wow.
You can also fuse arrows with materials in your inventory. For instance, try fusing this leaf to an arrow.
What? Does it create wind?
Fuse an ice elemental material to an arrow and
Ice arrows.
you can freeze faraway enemies.
Yeah,
Magical.
ice arrows. That's nice.
Very useful.
Oh, I love
In
this
addition,
mechanic. That's so cool.
let's see. Ah, there's a bird flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land.
Poor guy.
So at times like these, here's an eyeball you can get by defeating monsters.
Here's an eyeball.
Fuse it to an arrow and...
That's messed up.
look, it homed in on the target.
That's a homing arrow we saw before.
That's actually really
Let's
that's
try this
clever.
on another bird.
Yeah.
The quick select menu looks the same, which disappoints me, but I like you can access
I'll
it
just
in
fire in
the
that general direction. It's very simple.
There we go.
At least you don't have to. at least you
Depending
don't have
on
to
what you
fuse them
stick
in the
together,
menu, yeah.
the fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield.
Why?
Now,
Why?
you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom.
Bouncy?
Let's fight an enemy with this. I blocked with the
Oh,
shield.
that's cool.
Okay, there's smoke now.
It's a smoke bomb.
The enemy's lost sight of Link, so... attack!
That's pretty cool.
Even if you struggle with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers. We'll want to cross this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat.
Can you build one?
Of course, there isn't anything that resembles a boat around here.
I like where this is going.
So, we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log.
Yes.
Let's
there's a
do
goo.
one more.
It comes in. Yep.
We'll bring this over here and attach a third log.
Oh, that's really easy.
Okay, I like
It's
that.
a makeshift raft. This is another new ability called Ultra Hand.
Oh,
Even though the
Ultra
logs
Hand,
are
okay.
currently attached, they can be detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft.
That's really simple.
You can always attach things or detach them like this. Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. we've made a simplified version of a boat.
Looks like a Y-wing from Star Wars.
However, it won't move in its current state, so we'll need something to propel it forward.
There it is. The motor.
There's something here. Let's try hitting it.
Yeah, don't give us a real boat.
Oh, wind. It's blowing wind. Looks like we found a fan. Why don't we try attaching it?
Oh, I see. It recharges. Yeah, it recharges when it's turned up. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
We'll attach another one.
Yeah, that's only
This should
gonna go
make the
one way
boat well
like that.
balanced.
Be like a hovercraft.
Yeah.
Or it says it's like watching Discovery Channel.
Okay, they're attached. All right, let's try moving the boat.
I thought you had to hit them to turn it on. There's something really fun
Hey,
about
it's moving.
It's got a battery meter.
It's sailing pretty fast with the wind from the fans.
that. Yeah, so they can't stay on for too long.
Since we added 2 fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time. All right, we reached the other
That's
side.
cool. I like that.
Yeah.
In the most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able to freely craft them on your own.
There we go.
There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure.
Oh, it's cool.
That's cool. Yeah,
Now
man.
that's a hovercraft.
There are even more new abilities. Take this building over here. Okay, watch this.
There
Look,
we go.
I passed right through the ceiling.
That's really smooth. And
This
fast,
new
too,
ability
yeah.
is called Ascend. If you're in a place with a ceiling, you can go through to the floor above you.
Wow.
There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere. For example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it.
Oh, that's
If we
great.
use the ability here,
Do you go straight up? So if you're underground, you just go to the
Wow.
surface.
come on, keep going.
I love that.
Okay,
Whoa.
we emerged at the top of the hill. In the previous game, you had to use stamina to climb a mountain. But in this game, if there's a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up.
That's so
Here's
cool.
another example. Imagine you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly. Oh, there's another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah,
Wow.
it blew me away with wind.
Whack.
Looks like it's got some sort of fan.
That's. Oh man.
Ah, I got pushed off.
Well,
Oh.
Oh well, let's just return to the surface.
Skydiving.
You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this. It feels so good.
wow.
In the sky, you'll be able to look out across the land. You can also search for destinations that pique your interest.
Yeah.
Once you've chosen your destination, you can speed things up, like this.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Let's dive into this river.
Man, that was cool. That's straight
Into
down.
the water.
No
Straight
loading.
into the
Yes,
water.
that's what we
And
wanted.
we're back on the surface.
Big splash. I'm happy. That's
There are
hype.
still so many things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now.
That's it. Back in Breath of the Wild land.
What did you think?
Oh,
Some of
man.
Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game. I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by thinking about what's even possible.
Wow.
There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule, and we hope you'll use your imagination to explore it. That's all for today.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Wow. No Switch either. No new Switch. I'm surprised. I thought that would be a sure thing. Maybe it'll be announced after, I'm guessing.
Oh, it's at the end.
Oh, okay.
I just scroll through. and find-
Spoilers. Hold on. There might be more.
There is more.
There it is.
Yeah, okay, Aonuma just didn't bring it up himself. Oh, look at it.
Is that the leaked one?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's... I actually do like that design for the dog.
I love how those Joy-Con look.
Yeah, those are pretty nice looking.
The back
That actually looks really good.
Yeah. That dog looks so good.
The dock is sick.
Wow. April 28th. All right. All right.
Wow.
I need it. I need it. Ooh!
Oh, wow.
There is a Pro Controller.
Oh, yeah,
And
there it
carrying
is.
case.
We got it.
Release day. All right.
All right. Wow. So there it
Wow.
was. Real quick. What are we at now? Okay. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. I don't know how many there are. We had over 12,000 people watching. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy what you see, click that subscribe button. Definitely, we will be covering all kinds of stuff from this gameplay video and more for Tears of the Kingdom, as we have been. Joey, what's your gut reaction to what you just saw? Did that get you hyped for the game or not?
It got me a little more hyped, I will say.
Nice.
A little more hyped. Like satisfactory hyped? Because you were big on that.
Satisfactory hyped. I didn't think anything really blew my mind necessarily. It still looks like, other than the crafting element, a lot of it looks the same from Breath of the Wild, like gameplay wise. But you know, what concerned me a lot was the what's it called? Just because I really loved exploring Breath of the Wild, and I was so bummed to find out that it was still set in the same world. Those Sky Islands look huge. They're
bigger than
massive. Yeah, and the traversal elements just going up through the ceiling, totally cool. Yeah, so I'm game. I'm game.
How about you, Tress? Did we see enough?
Oh yeah, I think we saw enough. Actually getting a good idea of these different features, the way it looks to feel and play, and oh gosh, I'm so excited for this.
I'm gonna be honest here. I like what we saw. I'm happy with what we saw. Nothing surprised me here, though. Almost nothing surprised me. Going up through the ground is cool. Didn't fully see that coming, that we had seen it in trailers. I didn't know it worked to that extent. We knew customized vehicles would be here, and what we saw didn't shock me too much. So I'm happy with what we saw. It got me excited to play around those elements, but nothing here really shook me. So I think I'm still missing. I don't know if I saw enough to get me much more excited than it already was, and maybe that's fine, because I was already happy with not knowing anything about this game. I just wonder if there's more to it that we still don't know, or if we if this really is the main thing, is you can build stuff now, and that's cool. But it's hard to fully appreciate that until you can go hands-on with it, you know?
It is. It really is. Like, it's gonna feel good to play, but like pre-release hype, I'm just like, all right, it's another Zelda game. Like, okay, let's play it.
Jay Tonko, the super chat, thank you. So a bit disappointed. Marketing is not good. No hype. I feel like that's going to be a common take after this. I think people expected something a little bit more bombastic. Even I was going in like not expecting a whole lot, but this isn't quite what I thought they'd show off here. But I'm still like, I want to be. I think what they showed here is awesome. I think had they not shown off the crafting element before, like the vehicle customization, this would be even more surprising. But the fact that we knew it was coming, I mean, what they showed off in the trailer was cooler than what they showed off here. So that's kind of weird. Like, we'd already seen greater potential for the vehicles than what they demonstrated.
When you find something like this, you should pick it up.
That's fair. Although I think that the point here wasn't to show the potential behind them; it was to give you an understanding of how they work.
Right.
And tease, okay, now that you know how they work, and you've seen what the potential of them could be in trailers, what kind of things are you thinking of now? Is basically what they wanted you to go.
I will say the extent to which you can customize the weapons and shields, for instance, that's cool. Like, I didn't expect them to go that varied with it. We can seemingly attach literally anything to your arrows or your shields for all kinds of random effects. So that should be fun. I'm curious to see how much that actually matters. Can you still just use your sword if you want, or do you really do need to incorporate these other elements into your gameplay? And I'm hoping that there is a good incentive for it. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's like you could chop down trees in Breath of the Wild to build a gap, but how often are you going to do that really?
Right, exactly. But they showed off that in the first gameplay reveal. Like, oh look, how do you cross this chasm? Oh, you can cut a tree. It falls over and creates a bridge for you. You never had to do that in the actual game outside of that one time. So
yeah,
but I want to stress, like, I like what we saw. I think it was good. I was just hoping for a little bit more, like something teased beyond what we'd already seen, and we didn't quite get that here. But I think the skydiving looks awesome. I'm glad that there's no like transition between the sky and the land. It's straight up, they're one connected world again. Like we were talking about this beforehand. Will there be like, you know, some kind of disguised loading? Not really. So
Yep.
like you're not stuck in a funnel, as Jake was suggesting. You straight up can skydive wherever you want within reason. So.
And it's exciting, honestly, the fact that they're making it work. They're not doing disguised loading or things like that.
Right. Chat, I want to get your opinion. I've seen a lot already, but I'm gonna put a poll in here. But feel free to type it in too. I want to know like how hyped was that presentation? I'm gonna put in a poll here. How hype is that presentation? Let's see, way hype, semi hype, or. Once I add it, no.
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat saying it was okay and they're not that hyped. Yeah, so.
All right, we got a poll in there. This is gonna make it official, Tris. It's not official. Do we have numbers to put to it? Vote in the poll, chat. We want to know. Space Coyote says we need a dungeon confirmation. I think we had speculated before that they would end it by teasing something like, "Hey, look at that there," or maybe we'd see a dungeon, and maybe there is something hidden in the background that we missed. But they did not tease. Really anything explicitly outside of maybe the Zonai connection, Tris?
Yeah, I mean, that's more of like a win for the Zelda theorists for us than it is for teasing something bigger in the game that they've yet to actually show off. So, like I saw people going into this thinking they would tease the underground to playable Zelda, and so like I said at the beginning though, I expected this was going to be much more taking us to random areas, not giving us anything related to potential story ties, and just kind of showing off some of the abilities. Here's what you can do. Oh, let's go back down to the surface. Things like that.
Right. We got a super chat from the Angry Teddy who says he absolutely knows that someone is going to try to recreate Kylo Ren's lightsaber as a sword form in Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, they better. I want to see that dual lightsaber type thing. That'd be cool. Okay, so here are the current poll results. Sorry, what, Joey?
People are going to get crazy with this crap.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see.
This is going to be a
I think that's a fun thing. They showed more the idea potential than the potential itself here. And we're going to see some crazy contraptions, whether it's weapons or vehicles. It's going to get wild, which is exciting. The current poll results based on 1,400 votes. 37% of the people are way hyped for the presentation. 48%, most of them, are semi-hyped. 14% is no hype. So it seems like most people are falling in the middle on this one. Like, it was good. Didn't quite blow them away, though.
Yeah, I see. I think that's okay, like, for what this was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to show off like a big game like this in only 10 minutes. So, yeah, this is a tough game to advertise, especially since it's like a lot of people are saying say oh, this looks like just DLC but bigger, and just I kind of agree with them a bit, but that's not to say it's not going to be good, but it is kind of because when we expect Zelda games, like especially when they take like 5 to 6 years in between releases, we expect a lot of different stuff. Here there is different stuff, but there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's still I get the DLC comment, but it's still too early to say. I'd say early. We're 45 days out from release, but I mean, I don't think they showed enough for us to assess whether that's actually accurate or not. I suspect it very much isn't. There's probably way more here that they're still playing coy with, and for whatever reason, whether they just don't want to show it off or they're saving it for later, I think there's still a lot more here that they're not touching on, and that is kind of exciting. Like I think we're so addicted to being hyped that it's easy to forget that it does come at the expense of the end product sometimes. Like, basically, like, so often the game comes out and we're ready to move on. What's next already, right? But Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a game that, will likely stick with us for a while, much like Breath of the Wild did. And I think it's possibly a good thing that they're not spoiling everything major about this game. And I'm hoping that will lead to a greater sense of discovery when we come across it ourselves in the full game. So even if this presentation may have been a little bit mid-ish for me, that could actually be a good thing.
Yeah. Not everything needs to specifically be or fuel hype culture. because sometimes general marketing needs to happen. Not everything needs to specifically contribute to hype.
And I will say, we're looking at this hovercraft on the screen right now. Like, the manner in which they created that was so easy. Like, Nuts and Bolts, Banjo-Kazooie was like a game that did vehicle customization before this, and it did it really well. But this system is, more elegant for what the gameplay of this game is than that would have been, for instance. And I think it's like so cool. You can just slam this stuff together, automatically glues, it's automatically attached, and then it just somehow works. It just magically works. That is awesome, and I think they only scratch the surface of what you can do with it here.
Absolutely, and I'm really curious to get below that surface and actually see what we can do in this game, because this tease just makes me this game can't come soon enough at this point.
So Jesus says they teased building renovations. Did they?
Yeah, I saw that. There was a bunch of down in the world. There was a bunch of like construction sites, like with wood pallets.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, so Hyrule's definitely in the middle of being rebuilt, or it was until Ganondorf was like, "Hey, I'm gonna mess stuff up again.
Well,
here is the Sky Islands."
Well, that sounds like something we'll be taking a closer look at in our own videos soon. We have some super chats. KC says, "You guys think next trailer will be in Mario movie?"
No.
There's not in the Mario movie, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do attach ads to the Mario movie, like they did for Ocarina of Time way back in the day in theaters. That'd be a fun way of doing it again. But it'll be released outside of theaters too. It won't be exclusive to the Mario movie. Sam Becker asks, big question with a super chat. Big question, based on that, worth $70. Yes, I think still. I think what they showed off is exciting enough to be like, yeah, I want to make my own stuff. So again,
here's the thing.
Yeah,
no game should be $70. So that's just my take. Like they could have shown off the most mind-blowing game ever, but like it should have been 60. That's what I think.
I don't know if I fully agree with that. I mean, if you're willing to, if you end up paying for it, is it not worth that cost? You think?
That is a question, Andre. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I mean, yeah, paying more for anything, isn't fun. It's not great, but when you see, like, how often does a game of this caliber come along to you? Potentially. Again, we don't know. This game could suck. It may suck. It probably doesn't suck, but we don't know for sure. So,
I mean, maybe if it was set in a different Hyrule,
yeah, I see that.
Not just one with Sky Islands, it would have been worth.
So you're concerned it might be too similar, too familiar.
Yeah, like there's still a lot of Sky Islands, and I'm sure they're gonna be like, they're brand new, because I was wondering like what the Skylines even were. Were they chunks taken out of Hyrule?
Right.
Because they still look pretty different, but it's still ultimately there's a huge world down below that's still the same one for Breath of the Wild. So I'm just like, $70 for this.
Good point. Yamin says, just saying the poll you set up is getting closer. Oh, sorry. Our poll. That's it. Okay, Way Hype's climbing. Way Hype is now 43%, so it's almost half and half between Way Hyped and Semi Hype. So that is on the positive end. So that's good to see. Gerudo Gamer with a super chat says, that Pro Controller is all I needed. That Pro Controller looks, the Pro Controller and the Switch OLED looks sick. Like, look at this.
They do.
And that dock, like, I'm actually quite happy with that, so.
I need the pre-orders to open now.
Yeah.
Videos for Buck says, in other parts of the world, the price is even higher. That is a good point. I don't fully know what it is priced around the world. So, all right. Any other super chats? Oh, the Angry Teddy says, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Legos. Kind of, yeah.
So much crafting, it's insane.
Yeah, a lot of. Luckily, I'm not a big fan of crafting in general. I've said this before, and I'll say it again just now. But I will say the way they're handling it here looks good. Like it's simple, it's quick. That's what I like. I don't like having to memorize like different, abstract combinations of what does what based on a text menu. This is all visual. It's all very clear. I like that. I appreciate that. I think that could be a lot of fun. This might be crafting done right for me finally. Eleanor with a super chat. Thank you, Eleanor, who says, very Nintendo to just show off raw mechanics, how the game ticks. To finally see explanations for the wacky items we saw 2 years ago is exciting. Yeah, we had actually, we had speculated about this, specifically with that one item. Like, it's almost like a paddle ball. We were throwing out the ball or whatever. That was a custom item, and it's nice to see that we were right, and that, or, other people I'm sure were too, and that's actually a core mechanic of the game. And that's the kind of weird thing about it. I mean, I actually, I appreciate Nintendo for just showing us the game. Like, no more trailers here, just straight up, here's how it plays, and that doesn't always come across as exciting as it does in the moment, right? Like, watching someone make a simple boat, okay, but doing it yourself when you need it, that's going to be fun. That's going to be really cool. That's going to feel satisfying.
Oh man. No, I see so many ways this game is going to be able to satisfy your creative urges as you play through. Like, Breath of the Wild satisfied you with exploration. This game's going to satisfy you with creation.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, it has its own Breath of the Wild. Like, you know, they're deepening the gameplay in this existing world with some added elements, seemingly like the Sky Islands, possibly more. Again, they showed so, as I said, you know, as I thought it might be, 10 minutes is both a lot and not a lot at the same time. And in this case, they used it just to really drill in deep on how you'll be interacting with the world rather than showing the world itself. And kind of to your point, Joey, it might be because the world is largely the same, but we were up in some of the Sky Islands here. That is all new. And also, by the way, I want to give a shout out to that mechanic of you traveling through the ground now. Like, that is cool. Like, we saw that before, teased. Now we know how it works. But do we think, does that mean that works from, did they mention, does that work from the ground level too? There's a Sky Island above you. Can you go straight up to it, or?
I don't think
I don't think it works like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said like if there's like a mountain or something you want to get to the top of, and there's a cave, you can like warp through the ceiling that way. Like he didn't. I don't think he mentioned like that's how you would get to a Sky Island.
But Chad does point out in the chat. He said any ceiling. Is that not a ceiling? Do we consider the lower part of a? I guess a ceiling needs walls, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
So it needs to be surrounding you.
Probably. That's what I'm thinking.
The Angry Teddy of the Super Chat, thank you, says people have been theorizing on the return to Demise because of the Skyward Sword parallels. Do you think it will actually happen?
Chris?
I don't think so, simply because everything we've seen is like Ganon, Calamity Ganon, it's Ganon. I don't feel like they'll jump back to Demise since it's been Ganon for so long and Demise is more part of the origins that lead to Ganon.
Yeah. Do we want Demise back?
I don't care.
Personally, no.
Like they're the same person.
Yeah, they really are.
Matter.
I know it's kind of meaningless. But you know, I will say after replaying Skyward Sword HD, that whole final segment of that game is amazing. So the final I hope that the battle of this game is as good as Skyward Swords, whether or not it's Demise or not, returning in some way. Because that game had a great ending that I actually appreciated more the second time than I did the first. We got some more big super chats. Cathal, thank you, says, I have zero doubts the game will be special, but Nintendo are straining to whet my appetite. Playing is believing in the end, but they are keeping too much powder dry. You know, that's actually not a bad way of putting it. I do think the presentation may have come up a little short in terms of what a lot of people are looking for, which is, you know, kind of to your point, Joey, like, why am I paying $70 for this? Like, especially if the customization stuff doesn't entice you. And that is kind of like a risk of this game. Like, a lot of people like Breath of the Wild for just exploring the world. And we still don't, like, they haven't really even touched on much of that yet in this game. Like, is that even a factor now? Like, how much are you exploring this time? Is it really the same? Like, that's... Hey, like in the gameplay, we're looking at those little swirly things right there, by the way. I don't know what that means. Like, we still don't know what that means. Like, there's still so many mysteries about this world.
So many.
BDX Man of the Super Chat, thank you, says, the potential for this is amazing. The presentation itself was meh. New things from Breath of the Wild are still being discovered. I'm confident Tears of the Kingdom will be as in-depth and great. $70 doesn't bother me at all. That's basically how I feel, BDX Man. Like, yes, this didn't tell me a whole lot I didn't already know or speculate about, but in the end, they've been spending, what, 6 years now on the sequel to one of the best games of all time, to one of the most, like, groundbreaking games of all time. That inherently is exciting. Now, that doesn't mean that doesn't guarantee it's going to be good, but, you know, I feel like Nintendo, with the amount of time and attention Nintendo's been giving Tears of the Kingdom, I would be shocked if the game, even if it isn't as good as Breath of the Wild, isn't great in its own right. So, and I think it's one of those games that may be more like you have to play it yourself to fully appreciate it. Like, if it really is largely... And here's something, we were wondering how much vehicle creation might factor in, and the fact that they largely focused on it here suggests to me it's going to be a big part of this game.
Yeah, this fuse mechanic is going to be huge, it seems.
Yeah,
and I'm excited.
And we know they're battery powered.
I was gonna say, have a little battery meter there. Do you think you can like? Are there wall outlets you can connect it to? Like, are there like Tesla chargers you can roll up to?
What it specifically seemed to be with it was when the object was on, like the little fan, when the fan was on, the battery would deplete, but when it turned off, it would like refill. So it would recharge by not being used.
Right. By the way, I just ended the poll with nearly 3,000 votes. I ended 10 votes short of 3,000.
Wow.
Way Hyped ended up winning with 46%, although if you add semi-hyped and no hype, that does end up taking the lead a little bit. So this does seem to be a little divisive, like a little mixed all over the place, but a lot of people were impressed by it, which is good to see. So, all right, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
I'm excited to start looking into this and seeing like any other hints. Looking into the Zonai, like seeing what we can see around Hyrule.
Right.
This could be good. It's gonna be good.
I still don't know what the Zonai are. I'm sorry.
Joey, you were on the YouTube channel all about speculating about Zelda stuff for years. What are you talking about?
I know, right? But like, I left like right when the Zonai were being talked about a lot. So
that's funny. So Joey, parting thoughts based on this presentation?
I mean, it looks good. I'll play it. I'm just. In the end, like, if the marketing sucks, but the game is great, like, that's all that matters, right?
Right. Yeah, that is really all that matters.
Like, as long as the game's great.
And I for one am super excited to go hands-on with this. I think what it lacked in, like, the surface level excitement, it will make up for with the depth of these gameplay systems. And that is something you kind of just need to experience for yourself, I imagine. And again, I think too, there's still stuff in here they're not they're not showing us. They haven't showed us everything, or even anywhere close. I very much suspect. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am. I think they're keeping this very close to their chest for whatever reason, and I'm excited to know what that is too. Because again, like we don't know what those swirly things are. We don't know what the deal with a crop circle like elements are of the world. Like we've seen things in the game we don't even have explanations for yet. Well, super chat's coming in hot and fast. Justin Gorsage, I believe, or Gorsage, thank you, says Andre, another hour like analysis like with Breath of the Wild. Okay, probably not, because in that case we had like dozens of hours of gameplay to get through, so we're probably gonna get an hour out of this one. But I think Triss will be putting together something probably fairly in-depth, very thorough for it. So yeah, are you excited, Triss? Do you think you can get an hour out of this?
I'm absolutely excited to start diving into this, but if our last few analyses are anything to go off of, it might be divided up videos that when you put together equal something very long, but we want to get something up sooner than not, so they might be a little bit segmented.
Uper Reptar, I think, with a super chat. Thank you. Says, I just want to say I did not see many frame rate drops, and that's a huge win after seeing the last Pokemon games were released. I don't know why people are worried about Pokemon, though I get it, but Pokemon is not a great sign of anything. And
yeah,
I wasn't too worried. I forget what the modern team is, that the EPD, is it? Whatever. The modern Nintendo team, the main Nintendo team, they've proven time and time again they're very proficient at the hardware they use. Even Breath of the Wild ran great outside of a handful of circumstances like the Lost Woods. And seeing an upgraded game with all these customizations running basically flawlessly is good to see. Although we'll see, I am curious to see how crazy you can make those contraptions. So like, maybe that could impact the performance, but I'm not.
I don't know about y'all. It looks. Sometimes the footage looks super blurry. Not super blurry, but I felt like the resolution was
super sharp. That could be a side effect.
It could be YouTube.
It could be YouTube. But I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't running at a native 1080p. I don't even think Breath of the Wild ran at 1080p.
No, it didn't.
And it's possible this runs lower. It may have a dynamic resolution. Javier, I'm so sorry. I know I mispronounced that before. I'm probably mispronouncing it again. $15 super chat, thank you, says, was a little disappointed to see the same attack animations and similar UI, but was genuinely wowed by how crafting feels like a Pandora box of possibilities. Overall, still cautiously hyped. Good. I think that's a good way of putting it. The sandbox elements looks amazing. The UI, I saw that horizontal menu again. I'm like, no, why is it back? Why the horizontal menu? Why? It's so bad.
Yeah.
It is expanded though. It is bigger though, at least. Like before, it was like this narrow window. So
there's a little more that explains, or there's a little more reason to have it now because there's a lot more that can fit into that menu.
Yamin to the super chat says, believe in Aonuma, excitement will come. I think that's it. At the end of the day, it's a Zelda game. It's a sequel to Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And again, I think they were just teasing the elements, the creation. I mean, they were teasing the toys for us to play with. Like, it's not fun to look at a toy. It's fun to play with a toy. And that, again, I think is where the fun of this game is going to really come through. So it's something that's difficult to show off, but it'll be, once we get our hands on, it's like, okay, I get it now. So
I hope.
All right, anything else, Triss, Joey?
I don't think so. I think I'm just excited to really start digging into this.
Are you going to be picking up that new Switch Zelda TOTK OLED?
Absolutely. I'm literally sitting here waiting for the pre-orders to open up so I don't miss them.
That'd be Joey.
I'm not gonna get the Switch. I'll get the game though.
Okay. Corey says the Triforce is all over the Switch and Pro Controller and the dungeon. With the dungeon elements. By the dungeon elements, do they mean like the circular design stuff, or?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. What was it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean with the dungeon elements.
Was Triforce part of the imagery for Breath of the Wild ever? I don't think it was it?
It was all like the Sheikah eye.
Yeah, so that suggests that might play a bigger role here too now. So what if you can wish? What if you get all 3 pieces of the Triforce and you can wish for like your own things, like your own custom vehicles, for instance? Like, hey, build me this.
You get the whole Triforce and you wish for a car?
Hey man, Link needs a way to get around. He wants a nice set of wheels.
Wow.
Yeah, he got tired of the motorcycle. He wants to upgrade, so... All right, Xander, the super chat. Thank you, Xander. It says, to me, what sticks out is how seamlessly you can go from the sky to the surface and vice versa. Make no mistake, that's insane from the technical standpoint. Graphics prowess is more than fidelity. That's 1,000%. That's a great point. We were even speculating before how they would do it. Like, would they have to cut back on how this world is presented? Seemingly not. That looked like it's the same world. Like, the way this shifts from, I assume, the low poly to the, denser environment is flawless. Like, it looks so good. And I love that there seemed to be no restriction on that, on how that worked. So does that excite you, Joey, seeing that seamless transition?
It looks fine. Like, it's not, I'm not like, give me my pre-order now. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I remember people were like, I've heard people say, like, this game doesn't look like it could run on the regular Switch. Is there going to be new? And I'm like, just stop it with that nonsense. Like, right. We know now it's complete and it's coming to the Switch unless they announce a new Switch in the next month, which is not going to happen. So everybody just relax. Jeez.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, here we go. The Angry Teddy, another super chat. Thank you. Says, yeah, that's a good point. The Triforce and its wishing power has only been used twice in the whole franchise. We never got to use it ourselves. Right? I think that'd be a fun mechanic. They have to put some limits on it, of course. But if you actually got the Triforce and it awarded you with like being able to make wishes, that'd be so cool. Ben, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. They posted looks like a bird sticker or something, or some kind of weird squat green thing. All right, I think we wrap up here. Everyone, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us as we watched the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay, the first Tears of the Kingdom gameplay. If you enjoyed the stream, click that subscribe button if you want. We'll be back with more Tears of the gameplay videos, tons of them, I'm sure. And the best way to see it is to make sure you click that subscribe button, because we'll be here covering it all. I'm sure there's more in there that we haven't even picked up on yet, so we'll have it all covered very soon, hopefully. With that, everyone, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later for more Tears of the Kingdom. With that, have a good one. Bye, everyone.